It's a me, mariofan, and I'm not doing an accent, but I just felt that would be appropriate. If you're wondering what we're doing in this change of pace, my kitchen, it's because I thought I'd start a new, I don't want to call it a trend, since I don't know how often I'm going to be doing this, on this channel that I'm going to call Cooking with Mariofan. And I've got a bit of a feast of fiction for everyone today. If you've ever seen the movie Gremlins 2, the segment during the Cooking with Marge special that was being filmed at the TV studio. Sorry, this pot's a little dirty. Marge was making a dish called chowder tuna noodle surprise. Now, we don't know exactly what's in it or how it's even made, but I figure I've got noodles, I've got tuna, I've got chowder soup and mixed vegetables and all that other stuff that seems to go in something like that. So let's make some together, shall we? Let me get this. This is my dad's. I guess I just forgot it wasn't washed out fully. Sorry about that. Could have been worse. Could have been something gross and moldy in there. Get all this soap off. Don't want to end up tasting soap. There might be more jump cuts than my usual video in here, because I'm obviously not going to film the whole thing as it boils. So what we're going to start is basically take Great Value. That's the store brand from Walmart. And you kind of get an idea of what our will be like. Egg noodles. Extra wide egg noodles. Which is kind of an Americanized take on the traditional pasta. I'm pretty sure they were. Now here's a little tip. Use water that's already hot. It'll help heat it up faster. Because hot water can actually freeze faster than cold water, but hot water boils faster than cold water. I don't understand the physics behind it, but who am I to question? And a favorite among chefs everywhere, just a little bit of kosher salt into the water for some taste, but also it will also help raise the temperature a little faster than normal. Now, with kosher salt, unlike other kinds, we're only going to need a little bit, like maybe a spoon's worth, and we're just gonna, just gonna drop that in like so, and heat this up, and when we come back, this water is going to be at a roaring boil, so we can start our noodles. Good thing I've got an editing software this time. Now, those are going to reduce heat on there and drop it down to a modest, medium to low. Do a quick stir. Whoop. And those are just gonna cook. Cover and let those cook, and we'll be back shortly. So I've skipped ahead a little bit for our next step on Cooking with Mariofan. So we've got our egg noodles in a metal baking pan with an oven at 375, but you can use whatever pan you want, glass, metal, as long as it goes in an oven, you can use it. And we're just going to easily top this with 2 things of mixed veggies. Just sort of hodgepodge it all together. Ooh, yum, yum. And we've got our chowder soup. It's a little thick, so we're going to add that and then treat it with some milk to help get it nice and creamy. Or you could use it straight from if you've got a lot of soup. Just gonna add some milk for creaminess, so that'll be more sauce-like. And don't worry about mixing. It'll all just sort of, a little mix won't hurt. Don't want it to be too much, because it's like a casserole. Doesn't that look yummy? Now, you can leave it as is if you want to go vegetarian, or vegan if you're using soy/almond milk and a vegetarian cream soup. But we're not vegan on here, or vegetarian. We're going to add some tuna. The namesake chowder tuna noodle surprise tuna. But you can modify this recipe to whatever you like. You could use some cooked ground beef and make a beef stroganoff, or some chicken, some either canned or sliced. You could use shrimp for a seafood medley taste. Well, I mean, more so than this. Okay, so, something to prop this up real quick. Ooh, you know, for flavor, let's add a little Lowry seasoning salt. And, for some kick, going to add just, oops, silly me. 1 second. For a little kick, we're going to add some cayenne pepper. Now, be careful. This stuff is not ordinary pepper. This is going to give it. Just going to add a little bit for color and texture, as well as kick. Bam! And lastly, let's add mayonnaise, because why not? I think I still have some. Let's add some mayonnaise, because why not? Oh, are we almost done? A little will do, but if you can. Excuse me 1 sec. Oop. Boy, that gets annoying. Trying to get what little is left in here. Good enough. Don't really need that much anyway. It's more for flavor and texture. And we're just going to top that off with a favorite of any pasta dishes. I have here some shredded cheese. Just going to open that up nicely. Got a nice big chunk to work with. Oop, broke off. So I've got a little crumbled cheese. And just top that right on there. For that cheesy, home-style goodness. And lastly, in addition to the cheese, we're going to top that with a little cracker crust. I've got some saltines, which will do nicely for that. Just going to take a couple of these right here, and we're not going to top them over. It's just that I'm not sure how well I can get this on camera. Also, I might want to give this just one more little mix. Smells good. Cheesy, creamy goodness. That cheesy, creamy home-style goodness never fails. We're going to take those saltines and just crumble them right on over to the crumble them right on top. Don't be afraid to get, don't be stingy. It'll help thicken up the sauce nicely. Now, some versions of this recipe use breadcrumbs, but I like to think outside the box and just really sort of bring it all on home. And add that own personal touch that you can only get when you experiment in your own kitchen. And we're going to make a nice crust out of all the crackers. And save a little for myself. There we go. Nicely covered. Yummy. And we're going to let that bake. Not too long since the noodles are already cooked. Maybe 10-15 minutes. And we'll be right back after one more cut to see how it all turns out. And there we have it. As I said, I didn't want to heat this up too long, just enough to get everything nice and hot. And if I may quote Marge from Gremlins 2, let's ladle up some of our chowder noodle tuna surprise, shall we? It smells delicious. Sauce is a little bit more watery than I would have preferred. I might have put too much milk. And not much to it, but it's still a very nice looking dish. There we go. Let's just mix this up one more time. Maybe the crackers will help thicken the sauce a little, or it'll do that while it cools. And I'm not trying not to make much noise, as let's give it a little taste. Spicy, flavorful, creamy, and just so darn good. Well, that's it for the first installment of Cooking with Mariofan. Have a pleasant evening, and I'm just going to enjoy this with a nice glass of Dr. Pepper. Good night, and good to eat. And there we go. Isn't that a lovely roaring boil? So, now that that's ready, we're just going to put this over here while I open up this bag of great value extra wide egg noodles. Oops, be careful because these noodles tend to go everywhere the bag opens. It's so flimsy. So, just add those as best as you can.